What's going on, garden nerds? Michael here, the garden nerd, standing in front of the moringa tree. That's right, we're going to do another video, yes, another video about the moringa tree. As you know, I love the moringa tree. It's also known as the miracle tree because of everything that it can do. I already have a few videos about it, you can check it out, but in short order, the moringa tree is extremely healthy, extremely beneficial. The seeds can actually purify water, and it just grows crazy fast. That's why this moringa tree behind me is about 20 feet tall. It's huge. And a year ago, at this time, or actually shorter than a year ago, last March, so 7-8 months ago, it was as tall as me. Now it's 20 feet tall. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this video about the moringa tree, is how and why you need to trim your moringa tree in the winter time. But really, you only need to do this if you're growing moringa tree in a place that gets cold. So here where I live in Arizona, zone 9B, it can get below freezing, not a lot, but it can get below freezing some nights during the winter. If it gets that cold, if it constantly stays in the 40s, the moringa tree starts to drop its leaves. And so it's important to trim it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so the moringa tree, they grow it in places like it originated over in India, in the Philippines, places that are very subtropical. And as we talk about in other videos, the leaves are extremely beneficial. They're extremely healthy. People eat the leaves and many other parts of the tree. And because of that, it's well documented that moringa trees can be trimmed and pruned heavily and constantly. So on moringa tree farms, they don't let them get 20 feet tall like this one is back here. They keep them about 6 feet, 7 feet tall because they are constantly going and trimming the leaves off, and the moringa tree just continues to grow and to grow and to grow. And so this is what makes it so necessary to trim, or this is why we trim the moringa tree. So here in Arizona, I allow the tree to grow as tall as it wants to throughout the summer because I love the shade, I love how fast it grows, and I love how it looks. However, once it hits in that cold area like we talked about, it will start to lose its leaves. So what I do, also one other thing I want to point out is the branches can be brittle, right? If you let the branches grow long and lean, and they will grow like that, then the branches become brittle, they break off easily. So another benefit is to keep the branches more stubby, thicker, so that they are not going to break as easily. So back to what I was saying. So what I do every year around this time, December, January, I come into the moringa tree and I just completely chop it. I just completely hack it. And that goes against what a lot of you may think. It goes against everything that I think, but for the moringa tree, it is okay. The moringa tree is going to respond okay. And in fact, I think it actually likes it, and it grows into a healthier, stronger tree. So don't worry, it will grow back. I've been doing it on this tree for 5 or 6 years. If you come in here, you can actually see. So down here, the first year, this is where I hacked it. I completely hacked it right here, and then it grew these branches out. And then the next year, we come up here, I cut it right here, and then you can see this is where I cut it last year, and all the different branches that sprouted off for it. So you can be brutal and it will grow back bigger and stronger. So I just come in here, I get my hacksaw, I cut it off, and we're good to go. So here I am with my 2 tools. I don't know what you all like to use in the garden to do big trimming projects like this. I'm more of an amateur, but if you have anything, post them down below in the comments. Let me know what you like to use. But I like to use this small one for branches that are 1/2 inch thick or less, and then this guy right here for the bigger branches. So what I usually do is I just kind of trim back an area so I can get in here, and then I just start hacking away. Ultimately, I'll want to end right about here, and there will be nothing left on the tree. And by the way, with these leaves, what I'm going to do is my daughter makes a body rub, and we are actually going to include moringa tree leaves in that body scrub, and supposedly it's going to make the body scrub awesome, add a lot of health benefits, so we will see. But anyways, let me start trimming a few branches and then we'll be back and I'll tell you what's going on.
All right guys, so stopping here to give you a bonus tip for sticking around and watching the video this long. If you're watching this video wondering, how do I get a moringa tree? That tree sounds awesome, I want one. Well, you can get a moringa tree if you have a neighbor or just know somebody that has a moringa tree. You can go and get a cutting just like this one I just cut off of mine. Take off these lower branches, put it in the ground, maybe 6 inches to a foot. And it may lose a lot of its leaves. It may look like it's dying for a minute, but soon the roots will take root in the ground and it will start to feed this branch, and this branch will turn into a tree. So if you don't want to plant a seed and wait that long, if you just want a fully mature tree, just go get a cutting if you know somebody that has one, and boom, you have a tree. All right, so I am going to continue cutting down this beast. Like I said, I'm going to continue to do this until we're at about my height, about 6 feet. Completely shed all of this and we'll take the leaves and make my daughter's body scrub. But stick around, I'm gonna cut it down. I'll be right back. All right guys, so another little tip, another little bonus. If you've watched any of my other videos about moringa tree, you know this, but the leaves are extremely nutritious. You can just put them in salads, you can blend them up in smoothies. You can also do what I do in another video I have right here. I grind up the leaves and then put them into capsules so that you can just take the capsules like you would any other pill. So anyways, if you are growing a moringa tree, check out that video and you can have some awesome healthy benefits and capsules every single day in your diet. And one other tip, usually when you're pruning, trimming trees, you want to use like precise cuts and all that and get real technical with it. If you're asking that question about trimming the moringa tree, maybe technically you should, but I don't. There's really no rhyme or reason. You can see I'm just kind of like chopping here, 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 here. Once I get it cleared out more, I'll make it a smooth cut. But there's really, the moringa tree again is made, I believe that nature, God, whoever created it, to be able and to want to be trimmed like this because it's so nutritional. They knew people would constantly be trimming it to use the leaves for all of its healthy benefits. So don't worry about how you trim it. You really can't hurt it. I've trimmed it every which way and it always just comes back with a vengeance. All right, gonna continue. I'm almost done. See you soon. All right guys, I am tired. Check it out. You remember just a few seconds ago, it was 25 feet tall. Now you see all of this. Tired. And a lot of you may be wondering, why am I cutting these down now, right? Like there's still green leaves on them. The leaves haven't frozen off yet. They haven't gotten cold and fallen off. The reason I'm doing it now is because again, we want to harvest these leaves while they are still good. If we wait too long until they freeze and fall off, they're gonna be no good. And like I said, we're using this for my daughter's body scrub that she is making and giving away to people for Christmas. So we're doing it now while we can still harvest the leaves. If you wanted, you could wait into the end of December, January, February. At that point, it will have no leaves and you'll need to trim it, but you could wait if you want to do it that way. All right, now notice here, I said there was no rhyme or reason. Now, probably a trained, certified, smart arborist would look at this and think, what did he do? Good thing is I'm not an arborist and I'm not smart, but I do have experience doing this with the moringa tree. Unlike any other tree I've ever trimmed, you don't have to worry about making the right cuts or the correct cuts or making it perfect like an arborist would. You just need to trim it. It's gonna come back with a vengeance. It's gonna come back thicker. It's going to come back fuller.
So if you want to maintain and keep your moringa tree under control and have it more bushy, see I cut this one a little bit lower than the rest, and I will probably after this video do the rest down here, because this year I want to keep it smaller. I want to keep it bushier so that I can throughout the year constantly harvest the leaves. If you let it grow long and lanky and it gets 25, 30 feet tall, it gets harder and harder to harvest the leaves, and again it gets long and lanky and can fall over in the storms. So if you're wondering how to trim your moringa tree, the good news is you don't have to be an expert. Anybody can do it. Even I do it. I do this every year. I've been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. And then you have moringa trees to give away. I'm gonna take these leaves. Again, we're gonna put them in my daughter's body scrub. I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna put them in capsules like I showed you in my other video. I am going to give some of these branches away as well so that people can go and plant trees and have trees, instant trees that this spring and summer will grow huge. So that is how you trim your moringa tree. There's no wrong way. If you're wondering how to do it, just go out and do it. You'll be okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.